Hi, I'm Alicia.
I'm Carissa.
And we're the Leeber sisters. Thanks so much for all the support in our last video. I know we haven't been posting as much as we wanted to. It's a lot of work. Like, we really didn't know how much work it was going to be. We just knew that we wanted to make videos. We have so much fun doing this, and we want to continue to do it as much as we possibly can because we truly enjoy it. Thanks so much for continuing to stand by in our rough trial and errors.
And for continuously supporting us. We really appreciate it, guys.
We really do. Tonight we're actually going to do a story time. Tonight we're talking about our ghostly encounters.
Yeah, something we haven't talked about in a while too, which stinks because I'm having anxiety already. I'll probably be up all night.
It's really scary and hard for us to talk about. I mean, I'm a little scared now, like just thinking about talking about it is gonna open doors and bring everything back just talking about it. But we figured, maybe it's time to tell our story and for you guys to kind of see what we went through.
One day, my mom had her friend over who she used to hang out with a lot, and we decided to have a little girl day. So we decided to go to Castle Island to walk around a little bit and to just look around. It was called back in the day Castle William, I believe, or Fort Independence. It switched the name. Back in the day, it was the main base for military operations for the British. We actually did some research, and we don't really know if a lot of people died there. But we did research, and we could only find a few deaths, and it was like not spontaneous, but it was like weird circumstances, like weird things that happened. I don't know. Freak accidents. Bro, we walked the whole place, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
We stopped and took some pictures there, and my mom decided to take a video. We had really no idea after playing the video that she's actually gonna put on there, play next. We didn't expect for anything else to happen after that, obviously. I mean,
it spooked us, but
yeah,
we did.
It spooked us, definitely.
Yeah, so turn your volume up when you listen to it. It's pretty creepy.
It's taking off the boat.
We're finally here. We're gonna miss our boat.
Yeah, we already missed it.
Where are we headed?
It's fucking leaving. It's gone.
Sheesh. Oh, okay, you think we'll go catch up if we swim out?
All the Mexicans with them.
Run, Brittany, run. Stop that. Stop that ship in the shipyard.
You see all the people? Hello.
Now that you watch the video, if you listen at the end, you hear, hi. We didn't play that video back until like a couple days later. My mom freaked the F out.
She was screaming our names. So we ran to the room. We had no idea what was going to happen.
After that, we were so scared. After listening to that, it was really scary. But we got over it, it was like whatever. They say that those who are in a bad place with a lot of negativity around are more susceptible to spirits and the other side. So at that time, I mean, my mom had just gotten over a divorce. This was before my mom became sober. So she was drinking a lot. Carissa and I, I was 14, 15. Carissa was
16, 17.
Yeah, and we wanted to sneak out and smoke and drink and party and do all this stuff. And I don't know. Our family was just going through a rough patch at that time. This was back when we were in Brockton. Shortly after the video was taken, my room started to get really cold. And, I mean, it would be like, yeah, because we were wearing shorts at that time. And, so it was summer. And my room, I didn't have an AC. I just had 2 windows. And my room was just always really, really cold. When I was in there, my charger wouldn't work. My phone would mess up. Nina and I shared a room, and at night our bed would shake, and she would get all scared, and I would get all scared. But I was thinking okay, maybe it's just a whole crap load of trucks passing by every night for a real long time. I don't know. But it would it started off just small little vibrating, so I didn't think of much of it at first. But then eventually it was it got it felt like someone was at the end just shaking it. And me and Nina would just be close our eyes and try and hold each other tight. One night, I convinced Nina to lay in the front because I was scared. I was really scared. So I convinced Nina, because our bed was against the wall. So I was let me get the inside tonight. you get the front. And she ended up going for it. And I hear her just start screaming, and I'm like, what? And I turn around, and in the corner there was like a guy, a male figure. Like it's so weird to try and describe, but there was just like a male figure in the corner of the room, and the room was dark. Like there was moonlight shining through, but like other than that, it was just dark. And a male figure was in the corner of the room, and he had like a flannel on. That's what I remember. It was just like a male figure. I couldn't tell skin tone or anything else he was wearing. I just remember the flannel. And we freaked out. We just freaked out. I jumped up, turned the light on, and it was gone. I mean, a bunch of other stuff happened in the room, but that was like one of the most craziest ones that I ever remember vividly seeing in that house. Other than what Chris is about to tell you.
So then, guys, like we said, you know, we did smoke and stuff at the time, but so we had this one particular room that was out on the porch. It was like, it had a door and everything. It was like a closet outside, which is weird. I mean, I don't know many apartments that have that, but
yeah.
So we decided to, you know, make that our room, our smoke room. And we were in there, I believe it was me, you, and Ellen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was me, her, and Ellen. And we had been in there quite a few times beforehand. Everything was normal. I mean, nothing had happened since before that day. And then all of a sudden she starts crying hysterical, like just scared as all hell. And you know, we started asking her like, what's wrong, trying to calm her down, but she was hysterical. So obviously she couldn't tell us at first. She couldn't get the words out. And then finally she was like, I just seen a girl hanging behind me, right? Was it, or was it Ellen?
Mm-hmm.
So she seen somebody hanging behind me, a girl. And so obviously, I mean, she has never been that type of person. So we believed her, but we were also like, you know, we kind of thought she was hallucinating. A couple days after that, I'm in my room and I decided to take a selfie. And it was like middle of the afternoon. And so I took this picture and I seen somebody hanging behind me. So I instantly started shaking and literally I didn't know what to do. Like I freaked out. I'm like, maybe I'm thinking things, like maybe that's not what I'm seeing. Like, you know, when something like this happens to you, you always try to think of something else that could be a possible answer, a real answer. So I obviously called my boyfriend in because he was there. Into my room, and I showed him the picture and he started freaking out with me, and he's not the type, like he would not freak out. And I did not want Alicia to see the picture because she is already freaking, like she had already seen it, freaking out. She's already been scared because of things in her room. So I deleted the photo. I didn't want it on my phone anyways. I just felt like that was inviting more things in if I kept the picture and to like show it off or something. So it was just the creepiest thing in the world. Like I'm literally sweating right now thinking about it, shaking. That's how, in that day we knew, like obviously she wasn't lying. Like how are both of us gonna see the same thing? At this point, I know it's weird to say, but we hadn't smoked anything yet. So, so like it's just so weird.
So that was that house. That was when it all started in Brockton. After whatever happened in Boston, I don't know, maybe we took that guy home with us. I really don't know.
I mean, that's what we all think, because it's like the fact that that happened, and then from that point on, tons of stuff started happening, like back to back to back. Like, I mean, maybe not day after day, but like a couple days in between. Like it was just nonstop, and our family had never experienced things like that before.
So we ended up getting evicted and we had nowhere to go, so we had to go to a shelter. My mom didn't want to bring Nina, Zach, and Josh. Nina and Josh went to go live with their dad, and Zach went to go live with our aunt. So it was just me, my mom, and Carissa. And you know, we've never been separated our whole lives. We've been like in and out of shelters before then, but we were always together. So this is the first time that we ever experienced being separated from our siblings like that, you know. So that right there just put so much stress on us, and like it was really tough on all of us. And obviously I'm sure it was toughest on my mom, you know. She's never been away from us away from them for that long. In the shelter, my mom had her own room, and her room So it was like a motel, really, that we stayed at. My mom had a suite that had 2 bedrooms, a little kitchen area, not like a stove or anything, it was just a microwave and like a dining room table type of thing, and a bathroom. And then me and Carissa shared a suite. So I had my own room with like a little desk in it, an office chair. Carissa had a room with a desk and office chair, the little dining table, a microwave, a fridge, and then the bathroom. We were still drinking, still smoking, still partying with our mom, and you know, we were just trying to not think about life. So we thought we were gonna be okay though when it came to the whole ghost thing. You know, we were like, oh, we left the house, it's not gonna follow us. But what we didn't realize is we didn't leave the negativity. We didn't leave our vulnerability. We kept all of that with us. And I feel like that's why it followed us to the motel, whatever it was. At the motel, I started to get sleep paralysis. Now, I know when you hear that, sleep paralysis, all right, it's a medical condition, people get it, you know, but I never had sleep paralysis before this. And when I left the motel, it stopped right away. I was petrified to sleep every time I closed my eyes. It's like sleep paralysis is the most scariest thing I've ever encountered in my entire life. It's probably scarier than when I saw the guy in the flannel. The second I would close my eyes, I'm not even kidding. It's like I was awake, but I wasn't. And I just remember, like, every time I would go into sleep paralysis, I would what I thought I was doing was opening my eyes and screaming my freaking head off for Carissa. I would be like, Carissa! Carissa! And like just scream and scream and scream, but I wasn't really screaming, clearly. Yeah, it was just scary. Every time it happened, I would always be in my room alone, and I would hear like the chairs in my room, like the chair, like there was like a little desk and like a rolly chair, and I would hear it and see it moving around, and then eventually I'd be able to like somehow wake myself up and the chair would be in a different spot. And then so I was in Carissa's bed and I just got so tired out of nowhere, so I start to like lay down and right away, boom, sleep paralysis. And I'm like laying in bed, I feel like my eyes are awake, I'm looking at everything in the room, and the chair's moving, and I'm like, what the hell? All of a sudden I hear, like, it legit was like on my notebook, and I was able to wake myself up, and there was no scribbling, but I saw the marks. Like, it was just a regular pencil, there was no scribbling, but I saw the scribbling marks. I was so freaked out. Another time I was just laying there and I heard like little girls laughing. That was creepy. And I mean, I told Carissa about this, and she was like, Lee, honestly, like she was freaked out at this point. She just didn't want to believe it. You know, she was trying to make excuses. My mom was even trying to make excuses. She was just like, oh, Lee, it's probably just like you're dreaming, you're probably just dreaming. And I was like, no, like I heard the chairs moving, I heard the thing, look at this, like I didn't do that. And I heard there was one time when I heard 2 little girls laughing. I was like, I heard them laughing, I know I wasn't dreaming. And they didn't believe me until it happened to Carissa.
I tried to stay up a lot of the nights because I'm petrified of things. So a lot of the times that things happened to her too, I was just trying to like deny it. I kind of believed it, but at the same time I was like always trying to come up with excuses, because I'm such a scared person. Like, I don't want to believe certain things. So I would always stay up every night because she refused to sleep with me. So I don't know why. I was so scared. Even me, but like she would be like, oh, just come in my room sometimes, and I'd be like, no, I want to sleep at my bed. But her room, I'm not gonna lie, in both house and the motel were freezing. Like, her room was freezing. So
it was weird. It was like I was drawn to my rooms. Like I had to sleep in my room. Literally. It was weird.
But I was just like, I'm not sleeping in that room. It's too cold. It doesn't matter how many blankets you have on. It's just too cold. So I always used to try to stay up as long as I could until I fell asleep, because I was scared to sleep at night. I would always leave all the lights on, pretty much, and my TV on. And so one night I finally fell asleep and I heard 2 little girls laughing. So I woke up all of a sudden out of nowhere, And I like looked around because it seemed so real and like so right there. I was like, what the hell? I was like, is there kids playing outside? I checked my phone, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. So instantly I was like, oh my God, like that's the hour. If you have ever heard or seen ghost story things, it always happens at like 3, or not always, but like a lot of things happen at 3 o'clock, and they say that's like the devil's hour. And then I could not sleep for the rest of the night. As soon as that happened to me, I was like, oh my God, Alicia, everything that she has been saying is obviously real. Like, holy crap, it was just bad.
I ended up telling my mom that, and she started telling me some stuff that happened to her. So one time she was laying in bed, and all of a sudden she heard the again from that video that we played earlier. Oh my gosh, she told us that she would she told us that I don't know why it's like making me tear up. It's just so creepy because like it's scary. Like she told us that she would be up late, and she said that it happened multiple times where she would hear 3 knocks on my wall. So her room was right behind my room, like right there. And she said it happened multiple times where she would hear on the wall. And she thought it was me, and she would knock back and nothing else would happen. So she thought it was just like a cute way of us like saying, oh, good night or whatever. But she said it happened multiple times. And then one time when she realized it wasn't me was when I was out one night and it happened. So that was happening in my room while I was sleeping. And my mom was sitting there knocking back to God only knows what. And I don't know if you know about this, but 3 knocks is from like an evil spirit.
And as soon as we heard our mom tell us that, we were just like, okay, this is a wrap. That stuff, she didn't want to tell us that, because then it's just like, okay, well, you know, we know this is happening, but you have to stay in your rooms. You have to keep experiencing it. She knows we wouldn't sleep, so it's just like, whatever. It was all bad.
So everything that we went through in the motel was scary. It felt like something evil was with us, and it could have been multiple things. It could have been one thing. We really don't know. But it just we felt so like
uneasy,
like scared and just like uncomfortable being there the entire time. The last thing that we remember from the motel is the story that Chris is about to tell. And just listen closely, because we're gonna go back to this story. This was probably the only good thing that came out of the motel.
So yeah, so my mom had a friend that came around a lot at that time. She kind of heard a little bit about the stories. She hadn't like gone through anything while staying there, but this one particular night, she ended up having a dream about this guy in a flannel and telling her like,
but the room, like it had freaked her out, because in the dream she was in the motel room. Everything looked exactly the same. The guy was standing in the corner with a flannel, and what did he say?
He pretty much was just like screaming and saying, don't let him sleep, don't let him sleep. And the guy was holding a sign with this date on it, but it was from February 23rd to the 25th, and saying, don't let him sleep on this date. And so then she woke up. We couldn't understand what the date was, what it was going to be. She could not stop like expressing how freaked out she was about it.
So fast forward a little bit. It's our last day in the motel. We packed everything up and we're ready to leave. So Chris and I, we were in and out of the room nonstop, bringing stuff out, you know, and we were all packed up and ready to go. And then I realized I had forgotten something. I don't remember what it was. So I ran back in the room, and I had just been in there. And when I opened the door, the most horrible smell ever. Like it legit smelled like complete death. And like I've never smelled death before, but I am sure this is what death smelled like. And I was like, oh my God, Carissa, come here, come smell this. Come smell this. And she came over and she was like, what the? Like it just stunk so bad. And we had just been in there. Like the entire room smelled horrible. And if you look into this, it also shows that evil spirits, you'll smell like a really bad smell. Like that, I just thought that was crazy. But either way, I got my stuff and we left, and we ended up moving to New Bedford. Our siblings weren't able to come with us right away. They had to finish school, so it was just me, Carissa, and my mom. We got this nice apartment. It had an upstairs and a downstairs, and it was plenty of bedrooms, a little office room, a big living room. Like, it was a really nice place. So it was my birthday. My birthday's in February. So my birthday is February 25th. I wasn't able to have a party. We had a really bad blizzard that year, so it was most people were still like snowed in. But because I couldn't have my birthday party, my 16th birthday, my mom was like, okay, well, why don't I go pick up Brandon? And that's my fiance now. And I had secretly snuck her entire box of wine out of the fridge and drank the whole thing to myself. So I was wasted and crying for Brandon. So she decided to go pick him up for me. She ended up picking up Alan and their older brother Chris, who also wanted to come and hang out. This is when that story that we were talking about earlier comes back into play.
So we were all drinking. Alan and Brandon's brother, it has epilepsy. He hadn't had a seizure in years. He happened to have a seizure.
And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, he was drinking, he was smoking. No, I mean, he was doing that, but he was used to doing that. You know, he was younger, he was in his early 20s. He was partying all the time anyway, and it had been years since he had a seizure.
You know, we all freaked out, and his brothers obviously knew what to do. In the midst of everything, my mom's friend remembered that she had this dream where, you know, like we said, that the guy was like, don't let him sleep, don't let him sleep. So after his episode, he was like, I'm so tired, I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep. And, you know, we all did not let that happen, and Brittany just kept remembering, don't let him sleep, don't let him sleep. So she especially was just like, we cannot let him go to sleep, we have to make sure he stays awake.
It was like something hit her, and she just knew, like, this is the day, this was the date. Like, she couldn't remember before, and right away it was like the 25th.
God,
we can't let him sleep, we can't let him sleep. And like,
we just like all started thinking like how crazy that she dreamt this, and the sign, the date, the guy, everything, like it just all came into play. So we obviously knew, do not let him sleep, and we just did everything in our power to not let him go to sleep that night.
So it was a while, and nothing had really happened at this new house. So we thought we were good, you know. Every once in a while my bed would shake, but I was just like brushing it off the shoulder, you know, like, oh, maybe it's just like a truck passing by or something. Like, it's normal. And so when I was first telling you guys in the beginning that my bed would shake, I had a bed frame and everything, and it just felt like it was shaking. At this house, I didn't have a bed frame. So there were 2 rooms upstairs, and me and Carissa wanted the upstairs right away. So Carissa got the end room, which had 1 window, and then the second room was just a room. But like, it was a bedroom with a closet, it just had no window, and it was just always really cold in there. So I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not sleeping in here. So I just made it like a big closet for myself. And my bed frame was thrown in there, but I was too scared to sleep in there. So I just slept on my mattress. There was like Carissa's room, a big hall, like it was a big carpeted hall, where the thing, like the wall was kind of slanted, and then my room was over there, and then there was a staircase downstairs. But I just slept in the big hall. I left my mattress right there. Like, I was just too scared to sleep in my room alone. So I slept in the hall, with just my bed on the floor, and from time to time my bed would like just start shaking. And it was light shakes. It wasn't as bad as when everything first started. It was just light little shakes, and then when I would start falling asleep, I'd feel heavier shakes, but I was like, oh, maybe I'm just sleeping, you know, just brushing it off. So one night I'm laying there and it starts really shaking again. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to ignore it. I'm trying to just go to bed. And all of a sudden I hear it. The shaking stops, and I just hear, I freaked out. I freaked out right away. I ran downstairs. Like, I didn't tell anyone because we all thought it had like kind of stopped. So I freaked out. I ran downstairs. We had like a kitchen island, so I just sat on the island, and I just sat there like all night. I didn't move. I didn't want to do anything. I was just so upset that it was back.
Hi guys, it's me, Lee, live at home. So I had to add this in because we had over an hour of footage of us telling our stories, but we're at about 25 minutes, so I should probably cut this short. We do want to create another story time down the line, and finish our ghost stories and let you know how we were able to get rid of the ghost. So we're just going to go ahead and close it out here, and we'll see you on our next story time.
Now that you've heard our ghost stories, if you guys have any stories, please share them on our page, our comments, whatever, because we would really like to hear if anybody else has experienced anything like this before or anything.
Don't let us think we're crazy.
Yeah, please.
So the link to our Facebook page is down below. Don't forget to go there and leave your comments about any of your ghost stories.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so you guys get notified anytime we post a video.
Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.